What's going on, Pathways Church? I'm Jake Collins, your middle school pastor, and I'm so excited to join you for this week's Daily Dose. All this week, we've been answering the question, is the Bible boring? We're saying with confidence that the answer is no. The pages of Scripture are full of a variety of tones, styles, and genres. There really is something for everybody, and it all ultimately points to Jesus and helps us all in growing closer to Him. Today, we're looking at the topic that started me down this whole road for this series, sports. Decades ago, churches figured out that sports had an incredible influence in America, particularly among teenagers. They figured that they could reach the youth by tapping into this culture. Several of the organizations that started during this time still exist today. Now, I'm not an athlete personally, so this heavy emphasis on sports culture hasn't always sat well with me. My perspective changed a little bit in college when I realized that there are sports in the Bible. One example of this is in Hebrews 12. The author writes, "For consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against himself, so that you won't grow weary and give up. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood." Believe it or not, this is a picture of boxing, just not boxing like we think of it now. There were no gloves, there were no ropes, and there were no bells. Things are much more raw, and things could get much more intense. Things might have changed in modern culture, but I'm guessing that those of you who have played competitive sports in your life can relate to the core idea of giving all you can to an effort. This principle applies to any athletic competition, and it also applies to all of us as believers. The great news is that this is a team sport. We're all in this together. When I was a kid, there were songs on Christian radio that used images like boxing and baseball to describe the journey of a believer. As I got older, I started to think that these songs were silly or cheesy. Now I've come back around. I'm grateful that the Bible uses images that we can relate to 2,000 years after it was written. It helps us as the church to reach the people in our lives. So is the Bible boring? I hope that you can all say no, and I hope that you can say this with confidence. Thanks for joining us all this week on Daily Dose. We hope to see you all Sunday.